We're live.
Says you.
That's why, because Kevin.
That's right. I hit the button.
Kevin's
Says
gonna
me.
Push the button.
Somebody has to.
I have to wait 30 seconds before I can say what I want to say.
Well,
Yeah, don't
you
knock
keep
that
waiting
off.
then. Listen, you're the one that cuts this in.
It's a farce, I know.
I know. It's your favorite farce.
I'm
though.
already age restricted. Does it even matter?
Apparently, I don't know why.
I mean, you'd think it wouldn't.
This is America. We should be able to say what we want.
I mean, most kids even have accounts set up as adults, anyways.
You can't generally say whatever you want and not go to jail.
You just have a hard time voicing opinions online without getting shut down.
Yeah, without getting smoked.
Yeah, because isn't that the terms of service because you're using someone else's platform?
Yeah.
That's not against the law. It's just, violation of contract.
It's frowned upon. Oh, I'm dying. Oh,
Why are you dying? What did you do?
smoke went up the nose.
I remember my first cigar.
Right up the nose. Oh, it hurts.
You have a second Churchill over there. What is that?
That's a Cazadores.
Oh. What size is it?
Toro.
Okay.
Last time I checked.
Just looks like a bigger cigar.
It's a meaty choice. I went with the meaty choice.
I mean,
I'm
that
waiting
works.
for Lane to start this. Epernay. Epernay.
Draw's okay.
Is that the one he's going to smoke?
Yes, he is smoking.
So I really like Illusion's new stuff. I have made fun of this cigar a great deal.
I remember.
Oh, anyone who's known you for 10 years knows you've been making fun of that cigar.
But I was saying that one-off is what the Epernay was supposed to be last show, and I was like, I should probably try it. It's been about a decade since I've smoked one.
Just in case they changed it.
Just in case maybe it's not the way I remember.
This is the one they're always like, yo, you got to really appreciate the anise.
This is the one that you like.
And you just can't handle anise in your cigars.
We're going to find out.
Well, anise shouldn't be in anything other than Jaeger, so
And licorice.
no.
Yes.
No.
I can't help you.
Black licorice is the devil's work.
Really, black licorice. Wasn't black licorice the original one, anyways?
That's the devil's work. I don't know. What
It's
that is.
fantastic.
That's ugh.
I don't like it either.
No one likes it, and I don't know why, because it's great.
You like it,
Yeah,
apparently.
you like black licorice.
I think it's great.
Do you also enjoy the black jelly bean?
Yes.
Oh God.
See, and I find it weird.
I will literally wait until everyone else has eaten everything but the black jelly bean.
and grab handfuls.
And just take the bowl.
Have a bowl of black jelly bean.
Because it inevitably happens.
It does because they're disgusting.
Nobody wants to touch them. That's why.
But you have to be really patient, right? Because initially it's going to be the buttered popcorn jelly beans and the black licorice jelly beans. But people will, given enough time, eat the buttered popcorn jelly beans.
Out of desperation, if it's between those two flavors, yes.
Yes.
Buttered popcorn wins. It's disgusting.
I always thought the buttered popcorn one tastes like barf.
It does taste like vomit. As a matter of fact, that's the flavor, like alteration from the Birdie Bots ones.
Yeah,
They just altered buttered popcorn to make it taste like vomit.
that one.
That's all it is.
Or bamboozled.
Yeah,
Bean boozled? Is that what it is?
Bean-boozled.
Yeah.
Ugh. Gross.
I like that game. I've never eaten any of them, but I get my kids to try them. Like, here, eat this.
These are the things from Harry Potter that they then made actual candies.
The jelly,
Yes.
yeah, the Jelly Bean company made the Birdie Bots every flavored bean.
That's right. There was earwax,
Yeah,
booger,
They did the Harry Potter
vomit,
pack, which had vomit and earwax and
mocos.
like troll snot or something like that. Toasted marshmallow. Actually, toasted marshmallow is not bad.
That one was pretty good.
Yeah.
But the problem with those beans is you were afraid to eat them because you didn't know what you were going to get because they were both like for one bean there was two different flavors.
Yeah.
You either got vomit or you got
fucking. It was just Russian roulette with
Bacon.
jelly beans. Because you look on the back and you're like, okay,
That bean has two flavors.
This could be possibly vomit. Also could be toasted marshmallow. I don't know because on the back here,
well
they're the
90%.
same.
90% chance it was vomit every time.
Legit, dude. I know you have to specifically buy toasted marshmallow to know you're getting toasted marshmallow. But it is the best one. That and the Dr. Pepper one I think is really good.
I didn't try that one.
Dr. Pepper Jelly Belly is fantastic.
He's gonna have to take your word on it.
I don't think I've ever had it.
You never had the one? They did Dr. Pepper, A&W, and they do 7-Up. They do all three for
I thought they
sodas.
did.
I feel like I've had the root beer.
I thought they were getting ready to do a Mountain Dew one.
There
Too.
probably is. I think there's a Coca-Cola flavored one too, but I don't know.
They used to sell jelly beans here, didn't they, in the shop?
They're probably all still locked up in that
They're probably
like the
all-
sheeted off glass case of emotion that they've got down there.
They are probably
glass
just
case of
stored.
suffering.
Yeah, they're probably just stored. We should break in there. And get
They're
some.
all stale.
Have you been to the factory?
No, I haven't.
The factory. It's by James's house. It's in Vallejo.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a fun tour.
I've been through one factory tour, and that was the chocolate one on the old 395.
Oh, the old chocolate factory.
Yeah,
It's still there, I think.
it is.
Is it?
I drive by it every once in a while.
I don't know. I've been on that road probably
Decades.
since they opened the freeway. Yeah.
I like to take the back road usually, and I'll even take old 395 sometimes if I pass the first right when you first get onto that main drag.
I think I took it like a year ago.
It's not very smoky.
Your Epernay?
Yeah. It has that same flavor. I don't know if it's black licorice. I don't know what they're talking about, but it's definitely a slightly like it's a
It's still the flavor you
almost
don't like.
a sour sweetness.
Is it bitter sour or just sour?
Isn't that what black licorice was, anyways? Bitter.
No. I mean, not really.
I don't know how you describe black licorice other than black licorice.
I don't
Amazing.
either. Right?
Amazing.
No.
Amazingly horrible.
What terribly bland cigars are you guys smoking?
I have the A10.
Yeah.
And
boring.
I took the other Rocky Patel, the Disciple.
Boring.
What?
Less boring than the A10.
How dare you? How dare you sully the name of Rocky Patel?
I don't. I wouldn't call the Dark Star boring unless you smoke it every day, Casey.
What?
Listen, we only grab
What?
the Dark Star when we have the Gordo because it lasts the whole podcast.
Yeah, I actually enjoy the Gordo Dark Star. It's really good.
No, I like the Dark Star a lot.
I
Dude, this
also-
bourbon, this Fortuna is fantastic.
I believe it. The silver label was really good when I tried it yesterday.
Yeah, barrel proof has just got a better viscosity. It's a little oilier. Just really good.
What's the silver one?
Their regular release, which is like a 90 or 100 or something.
Oh,
It's 100.
no, I'll take the barrel proof.
Both aren't bad.
You would drink the barrel proof just because barrel proof just got a red, white, and blue label.
America.
Yeah, see?
You could say it now. We're past that 30 seconds.
Fuck yeah, I'm a patriot.
Once that 30 seconds hit, you're a patriot.
I mean, I'm not like a real one. You know, I didn't get a chance to serve, so I guess I'm not really like a patriot. You know, I didn't play for the team. I'm not.
Listen, you've played Call of Duty.
I have fought many wars in the virtual realm. I don't know if that counts.
Listen,
Probably not, no.
I'm still waiting for that actual real life, like VR. It puts you in the game.
The Ready Player One experience.
Yeah.
That'd be.
I'd enjoy that
We're getting there.
until it turns into Sword Art Online and you get stuck in there.
Yes.
Until it becomes the Lawnmower Man.
Yes.
Oh, whoa, Lawnmower Man, reaching way back.
Hallowed antiquity, baby.
Way back machine just coming out. Wow.
Showing your age with that one.
Dude, people are going to be like, I follow Lawnmower Man on YouTube. Be like, no, you don't. Get out of here with that.
What did you
I'm
guys do?
surprised someone hasn't done a YouTube channel like stuck in the machine acting. Like the whole channel's them acting like they can't get out, like they're stuck in the computer.
Wouldn't that just be Tron?
No, but like Lawnmower Man.
Oh, but like, you know what? Now that you put that out in the universe, it's going to happen.
Fair enough.
It's going to pop up on your feed now. You're going to see it. You're like, God damn it.
You got to push that out there so everybody sees
Why
it.
did I have to say anything? That's probably a decent moneymaker.
I bet it would be.
Yeah.
I bet it'd have a couple million subscribers. Would become its own conspiracy theory. It'd be amazing.
It'd be a religion.
Yeah. Cult.
Yep.
Cult of the Lawnmower Man.
Oh, man. Hallowed be the lawnmower man.
I don't know what effects they would do to sell it, but you could do it.
I nowadays I think you'd be fine.
Yeah, they just used VR more than anything, I guess.
Well, you've seen that one where those guys built that tank for.
Oh yeah, that
World
thing
of
was
Tanks.
awesome.
It's a legit like
They used soda
working
bottles as
soda
a,
bottle with compressed air to fire the fucking cannon. That's got a little VR headset for the tank commander. Like they went all out for this thing, and I kind of want to play it. I'm like, that's kind of cool. It's
if you could have that.
it's
Yeah,
a cardboard Sherman. Like
it was a great setup. I that's what got me to watch Fury again.
I like World of Tanks, but
You know, I've never
that's a
seen
much.
Fury.
I love that movie. I watched it today.
You should. You're a tanker.
I know it still gets my blood boiling, my legs shaking.
I've seen parts of Fury. I don't actually think I've watched the whole thing.
I mean, I think I've seen the final battle in Fury.
Yeah,
Where they're stuck at the crossroads. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched that before I came up here.
it's like Heartbreak Ridge.
Were you preparing for something?
That
Or does
video,
it like calm you down?
So that video that he said that with the VR tank setup,
Yeah.
it made me want to watch that movie. So I watched that movie, and then I started looking up the new tank that they're working on, which is Abrams X. So yeah, it was
Really?
kind of warming me up for that.
Is it going to be electric?
Actually, it's partial electric,
So it's
part
a hybrid.
diesel.
It's a hybrid.
Yeah,
it's a
and
diesel hybrid.
It
a
cuts the
hybrid?
fuel cost in half because usually you get about 2 miles off of every gallon of gas.
So now you're going
for
to
a
get 4.
tank. Yeah, it's so much better.
It's 3. Don't go
And,
4.
and usually to start the tank, it requires 10 gallons of fuel in order to just start it.
To start it?
Yes,
The fuck?
there's a lot of fuel that gets used up on those things.
Jesus.
That's why it has such a huge gas tank.
Well, where are you supposed to plug this hybrid in?
It's a hybrid.
Yeah, no, but there's got
It'll basically charge
It's
itself.
supposed to charge itself? And
Essentially.
the Army's making this? Yeah, okay.
No, so they haven't approved it yet because
yeah.
what the issue is that they like the fact that the gas.
The issue, as if there's only one.
Yeah, just one.
let me rephrase that. The issues,
One of the issues is
the biggest one being cost. They're debating on whether it's feasible because right now you can use drones to take out tanks, which is what they're doing with Russia and Ukraine. So they're like, are tanks really feasible in the battlefield anymore?
Drones. 2 drunk farmers in Ukraine can take a tank. You don't need a fucking drone.
Well, the Russians
You
don't
need
know what they're doing
need
with
a
tanks.
bottle of Stoli and a bet.
Listen, the Russians don't know how to use tanks apparently.
Here's the rest of the bottle on $5. Bet you can't go steal that tank. Hold my beer. I'll be right back.
Well, that's the
I don't
thing.
think it would be beer at that point.
Nah, it's whatever
No.
they drink.
Hold
over
my
there.
pint of vodka.
Yeah, hold my Stoli. I'll be right back.
But yeah, they're integrating AI with it for a lot of the battle stuff. They're moving back to autoloader, and they're getting rid of the loader. So you'll have a TC, a gunner, and a driver. And then
I'm assuming there's a way to manual load these rounds if the autoloader fails.
I hope so.
Whoa, no. We don't build things like that. What are you talking about? Doesn't fail.
That would,
100% efficiency.
which is my biggest issue with like putting AI on a tank. It's not the fact that I think they're gonna take over. It's gonna start shooting random people.
Yeah, it's the fucking what is it? The ED-209 from fucking RoboCop.
Yeah, at this point, it'd probably just be Hal.
Citizen, you are in violation. Oh shit! Got a whole fucking.
How did?
base.
Here's my question: is that when they were designing all the random Terminators for all the Terminator sequels, you know, in the battle scene that T2 opens up with, like in the future,
Yeah,
how did they overlook the ED-209?
dude. I bet there's an ED-209. There's gotta be one. Just the fucking walker. It's like, dude.
The
ED-209.
ED-209 was terrifying when I was like
Dude, the
8 or whatever it was.
Is terrifying as shit. Especially in that scene in RoboCop when it fucking pops up and looks down
Its
at the dude.
face is
Oh, yeah.
basically a car hood.
Yeah, you're like, what the hell? It's like a Kia, but just on crack.
Like, what would you do in that situation if that happened to you?
Run.
Shit, my
That
bands
dude,
die.
yeah, that OCP guy just looked at it. He's like, oh, this is funny. Fuck that. I would have ran. I'm like, hell no, that thing's not getting me, man. The second one's the one with the brain, right? They put that prisoner brain in the robot thing
I don't
to try to bring back the ED-209.
remember seeing the second one.
Oh. Okay, well in the second one, I'm pretty sure. How have you not seen? You've not seen the second RoboCop?
No, I mean that's again one of those movies. I feel like I was good at one.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the second one that they put it in the
Yeah.
209,
'Cause
and then
the third one's
he
got
had to
the
fight it.
samurai, right?
I
The
don't-
weird Japanese samurai robo
Yeah,
guy.
the robot. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a third one too, by the way. Just,
Clearly,
and then there's a remake. The remake wasn't
I
bad.
watched the remake.
I don't think the remake was bad.
It was okay.
They didn't need to keep his hand though. I never understood that.
So you can actually shake somebody's hand and they have like a
No,
human connection.
It was
I don't
dumb.
know.
Joel Kinnaman got ripped off. He did a really fantastic job, but he had his fucking hand. I'm like, what the fuck's the point of that?
He doesn't need that.
It's so stupid. Just keep him in the robot. It's fine. God.
Garbage fucking B movies.
Oh, how dare you? Those go in their own. That's a capsulated B movie.
Listen, I would put number 2 at a C movie,
Number 2 is a little rough. I'll give you that. It's
and number 3.
And you guys are giving me shit for not seeing it.
yeah, because you have to have experienced it.
We figured you would have at this point.
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
Yeah, because in 2
But
he
does
gets
it-
the reprogramming too, and he's like friendly RoboCop, and it's hilarious. Because he's just like walking around, he's trying to be all nice, and then the one dude's like smoking the cigarette, and he just shoots around him. And he's like, "Thank you for not smoking," and then he keeps walking. It's fucking hilarious.
It's got some good comedy points in there.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell the budget went down, but the comedy went up. It earns its place as a B movie.
I mean, that's almost what every movie has to do if they're going to decrease the budget for the sequel, right? What are we going to do? Add comedy.
Make it funny.
Yeah.
That works in all of them except for Star Trek.
Yeah.
Because I think Star Trek 1 was way funnier and more cheesy than 2 was.
Yeah, but that's different, right? Because how often are you making a sequel off of a terrible movie?
Yeah, that's true actually. 1 is so bad. 1 is just like, hey, 2001: A Space Odyssey just came out. We could make that movie. Oh yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Let's make that movie with characters you already know. Sure.
My next question is, how many times have you watched it?
More than I should.
So it's a classic now, a cult classic for
It
you.
is technically a cult classic, but I don't know why I put it on every now and then. I'm like, I don't know why I'm watching this movie.
It's rough.
And then I watch it and I'm like, I sat through that whole fucking movie. What the hell's wrong with me?
Again.
Dude, it's and there's a director's cut. Believe it or not, there's like an extra 15 minutes you can
You
watch.
watched it, didn't you?
I have seen the director's cut. But don't give me the disproving look.
You do you, man.
I'm a Trekkie. I have to at least say I've watched it. I can shit on
Don't
it
you watch it like
properly.
once a year?
I watch all of them continuously, yes. The only one I have trouble really watching is Nemesis.
But you still watch it.
Nemesis is hard watch.
Harder than Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Ooh.
I mean, that's
I mean, yes,
really.
I think so. Nemesis is rough. Like Tom Hardy gets shafted in that one. I don't know how they got him to do that movie. I don't know how he still has a career after doing that movie, because most people don't.
Wasn't that before he actually got
Yeah,
big?
it is. It's legit. Like
So it works.
you forget Tom Hardy's actually supposed to be Picard's clone, and then you watch it and you're like, oh fuck, Tom Hardy's in this movie. Oh yeah. Oh god, this is the one they killed Data. Ugh.
Wait, so Voyager 1 comes back as like an evil robot or
Yes.
something. Like a
But yeah, he goes so far outside the galaxy because it's been like 300 years,
yeah.
and somehow he went to a part where he found a machine intelligence life, and they were like, oh, he must go back to the creator now with all this intelligence, and then he goes back to Earth, and they're like, oh, he's just here to fulfill his basic programming, which is to return the information to Earth. Cool, let's just download it. And then he fries the circuits, and they're like, oh, we can't download it now. How do we do it? Human interface. And then Decker's like, it's cool. I'll sacrifice myself to interface with this human. And then they somehow make a new life form, and then that's the end of the movie.
That's-
It's terrible.
It's
It's really bad.
It sounds like you just like told me the lore of not Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers 2, Age of Ultron.
Yeah, it's like really bad Age of Ultron.
Literally what you just told me.
It's so stupid. It's so bad.
And yet you still watch it.
I'm a fan. I watch it.
Listen, nobody likes Dragon Ball GT, and I still watch it.
I watch Star Trek 5 a lot, and people hate that movie. And I don't know why. I think that movie's funny as shit, but people hate that one because that's the one with God.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does God need with a starship? Aren't you God? Don't you know who I am? It's all Kirk.
Yeah, I know.
Now, that movie would have been fantastic, though, if Sean Connery had fulfilled the role he was supposed to fulfill.
Which was?
He was supposed to be God.
Oh.
They wanted him to be the big floating head. And he was like, no. This is a guy who wore a bikini bottom and did like a really serious science fiction movie. And he
Yeah,
said-
what movie?
he
What's the name of that movie?
Zartan?
Zardoz.
Zardoz, yeah. He did Zardoz, and he said no to being God.
And there was a giant floating head that just spit out guns.
Yeah. And he was like, nah, I've been there before, fam. I'm not doing this. I'll go do League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Zoltan was off of a Dude, Where's My Car?
Whatever. It's Zardoz. It's so bad. I've seen a lot of terrible movies.
In his gold bikini bottom.
Yep.
Listen, I haven't seen that one, so I'm lucky.
I've never watched all of it. I was forced to watch clips of it by Cameron, who desperately wanted to show me what it was.
That makes sense. I feel like he would have done the same thing with Rocker Horror Picture Show to you.
You could watch the trailer, because there is a trailer for it, and get the entire premise of the movie out of the trailer. You never actually have to watch the whole movie.
Is it better than the movie, I'm guessing?
Yeah, yes.
Because it's shorter.
It's short. It's so bad. Although it's not as bad as apparently. So the numbers for the Acolyte came out.
Oh, they're disastrously bad.
They said that it costs
Oh, it was like
$660,000 a minute
Ooh.
to film The Acolyte, with a viewer rating under Andor, which was like the lowest viewership they had. This one has lower viewers
by like half.
by like half, and it costs almost $100,000 a minute more to make, and they only had like 6 episodes.
I love that people are like, why did they cancel it?
Because
You're like, clearly because it
was
didn't make sense.
It was a massive failure.
Disney was doing stupid shit and ruined it.
Yeah.
I like though that they are now. Everyone is now on the train. Like, how is Kathleen Kennedy still have a job?
Yeah.
Like, other people now are asking the question. There are still people signing a petition to save the Acolyte. I'm like, just let it go. Just let it go. You know how many of these
Well, of
petitions
course there are.
we have signed for good ones? Bring back fucking Prodigal Son. That didn't cost $660,000
Right.
a fucking episode.
A minute
It was a great
Yeah.
show.
A minute. So what is that like?
times 40.
That hurts. Donate that to charity. Fuck.
That's painful.
Well,
That's awful.
and the next ones aren't going to be any better. Like, Skeleton Crew's going to get shit on hard.
Yeah, but after that, don't we get Andor season 2?
Yes, Andor season 2 is the next somewhat promising.
Who's doing that one?
That's the same guys that did the last.
Okay.
Andor was good. It was slow.
Andor-
The first half of it was slow.
Is the director of the Bourne Ultimatum.
That explains
Oh,
why
nice.
it's slow.
Yeah, it's the Bourne guy.
He's
doing
definitely
it.
a slow burn director.
Yeah.
But Andor got really good in the end.
The last
I
3
haven't watched it
episodes
yet.
of Andor are. You only need to watch the last 3.
You
could
guys said that
skip-
last time, yeah.
You could skip all of it, and it's.
Is it
not
just
missing
building
much.
a story or the first couple episodes, or is
It's-
it?
I mean, I would say it's world building, but you don't need world building in Star Wars at this point.
Because
we
it's already
know-
built.
Yeah, you kind of know.
It's
where
not
it
so much
is.
world building, right? Because Andor, there's a big part of Andor that's supposed to be. I get the feeling it's supposed to feel a lot like Eastern Bloc Behind the Wall. Like you want to feel desperate and grimy and poor. Like there's a lot of that in the first. Like they sort of build that feeling, that sensation.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of like building the universe that you now know, which is like the Empire's fully taken over, and the negative parts of the Empire, right? So like how the Empire influences planets and how they're taking people and taking control over resources, because this is before the Death Star's built. So it's like,
Right.
oh, okay. So you have to understand. Yeah, I guess you're right. It is kind of Eastern Bloc.
So this is just
Yeah, it's,
before.
yeah.
it's very much like the moment just before rock bottom when people start fighting back.
Okay.
Because
It's like the desperation people have become accustomed to.
Andor's building up the resistance,
Got it.
like the first rebel alliance.
So it's basically showing how everything's going, poverty. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like you get to see some key political players on Coruscant, who
And this is right before the Death Star?
right before the Death Star gets built.
Okay, so not when they destroy that planet.
Yeah, because Andor leads up to Rogue One, and Rogue One is legitimately right before the beginning of A New Hope.
Okay.
Like it quite literally ends with the scene from A New Hope starting, which is a pretty badass. It's a pretty badass scene
Yeah.
because the second Vader steps in, you're like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
shit! No wonder they were
Everybody
scared.
in the theater like, oh.
Dude, I mean, the first time I saw Star Wars, I was super young, right?
Yeah, you got to see him in theaters.
Not Star Wars.
No? I thought
Empire
you did.
Strikes Back.
That one.
No, Star Wars was before I was born. So,
87, wasn't it?
no, you're not even close.
No,
When was it?
Star Wars? 77.
77.
77.
That's 10 years off.
Yeah,
So, I don't know, the first time I saw Star Wars, I was 5, maybe. And you know, you're a little 5-year-old watching TV, and in steps Darth Vader. Like all white, like that white ship with
Yeah.
the black silhouette. You're like, oh my God.
See, I was
That's
the other
terrifying.
kid when I first saw it. I'm like, I'm rooting for that guy. I was on the dark side. I'm like, yes.
because he's just so cool.
Right?
Like, first of all, you're like, these dudes can't shoot for shit. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
But then Vader walks in and just,
Yeah, and then Darth Vader shows up, and you're like, oh, okay, that's a bad dude.
that's why they
That's
shoot.
a bad dude right there. You don't even have to see him talk. You just go, that's a bad dude. And then he just has that presence.
That
I'm
present.
picking the band off my
Oh, are you
cigar.
fighting?
This is what we were
is
watching.
It glued? Is it glued on?
It's pretty glued.
Nice. What is it with everyone gluing extra hard?
I don't know.
So it doesn't come off. I don't know.
Fuck that.
It's not glued to the cigar though.
Oh, that's good.
So,
It's just tight and glued to itself.
well, I think since the last time, I will say, one of my biggest problems with the Illusion years ago is their construction was a little questionable.
So far?
Super tight. No, this is fine.
Okay.
But you remember, like, when we first started smoking Illusion, like, Will brought him in, and we're like, let's try him. And I made it like 6 puffs, and I was like, this is garbage.
Yeah.
But you also couldn't get a draw off of them.
Yeah.
This isn't that.
Okay. Flavor's good?
Did it open up for you already? Because you said it wasn't much of a draw.
No, I said it wasn't very smoky.
Okay.
It's still, I think it's a little overhumidified.
It doesn't seem to have a good, like, bellow.
Yeah, I think it's a little overhumidified, but the construction's fine. The draw's good. The flavor, all right. So you know that flavor you get when you've got a cigar that's drawing badly and you're pulling on it hard, so it's burning really hot, and you get that slight sort of sourness.
Yeah, that, like, bitter goo.
From like the burning
This
of the oil.
is like 20% of that.
Okay.
And like it's that sort of flavor characteristic. It's super understated. It's not quite my flavor profile. Like I would much rather smoke the original documents.
Yeah.
Any version of the original documents.
That's turned out to be a really good cigar. I really
But
like
this
the
is it.
Habano.
It's not offensive. It's not what I used to make fun of constantly.
So they changed something.
I think they just got better rollers.
Okay.
I think his rolling contracts are much better now.
He gets the A team, not the B team.
And listen, it still might be something that people like. It's like a slightly more complex Davidoff or Monte Cristo.
Okay. So still light. Still easy to smoke.
I mean, listen, if I'm being fair to it, it's probably a medium minus with a
Okay.
lot of brighter notes. Not a lot of dark notes, a lot of brighter, like wood grain, hay, that little set, where that sour note is that they call anise that I just don't think is anise. It's something else.
Interesting.
But it's not green. It's not like smoking cucumber or something.
Okay. That's good. Those are terrible.
And it's not ruining my whiskey. This whiskey's still really good.
Hey,
That's always good.
That's always a bonus, right?
Casey,
there.
that's your RD1 up there. You're drinking again.
Yes. I know, real original. Three weeks in a row now.
From left, from right to left, I guess, for the camera. RD1, that's Casey. Fortuna, that's Lane. Rare character, Straight Ride is me.
Picked by what shop?
Battleborn, your favorite saying. We love it. Casey
Actually,
dying.
it's a pretty good shop. They got a good wine selection. The guy in there is a somm. He was a
Yeah.
wine guy before he was a whiskey guy. Super friendly.
Yeah, I talked to him when I went down there for a bit. He gave me 2 samples. One of his barrel pick for, I think, Elijah Craig, which was hot. And then a scotch that he recommended. I forget the name of it, though.
Yeah.
I haven't tried that one yet.
He's a good guy. He did one pick that I thought was awful, and all the rest of them I thought were pretty good.
Where is this one?
Battleborn?
Yeah.
it's right next to Sharky's.
Oh, okay. That
It's a
one.
little, it looks like an old house.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go in the side now. He doesn't use the front door. By the front door, he's using it as storage for people that people have already bought until they come pick it up.
Yeah. No, it's a good shop. I just make fun of the name.
Of course, you love the name.
Battleborn. Yeah.
Just the interaction there, priceless.
Did you watch the race?
F1?
Yes.
No, I didn't watch the race.
Was actually kind of interesting.
It's hard for me to watch races now because of this
'Cause
job.
They're all at 6 a.m. too, and
Yeah.
no one wants to be up at 6 a.m. to watch them. That's fair.
Well, and if I am up at 6 a.m., it's because I have to be up there. I could watch, 10 minutes
Yeah.
while I'm drinking coffee or something.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah?
First race back from the summer break, and Red Bull's in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Red Bull's in trouble.
Why is that?
So Max was second. He qualified second, which after the way the weather was pretty impressive because it rained the first 2 days of practice, and qualifying was sunny for the race, so they had no idea what the fuck they were doing. But he was second. They took off. After lap 1, he got ahead of Lando. He was ahead for about 17 laps, and then Lando just
See, I don't think they're in trouble. I think they're just going to have to sacrifice their advantage early in the race.
well.
I think they've had the power curve on that car adjusted for a full tank for a long time because they had the aerodynamics to make it work.
Yeah,
And they're going to have to give that up and get their pace back at the end of the race.
yeah, because they backtracked a whole slew of upgrades. They built an older car this time, so they took off.
Yeah, I get that because I think they've been trying to increase their advantage early. They've been trying to take advantage of trying to extend where they had an advantage. And I think they're going to have to get past that.
Yes,
Everyone else is caught up to what they were doing, so now they're going to have to change the power curve, run it faster on a lower tank like everybody else, and just trust that he can drive.
yes, and they're not. They're fucking that off. Even Max's dad. So the thing that's funny about Zandvoort is it's the Dutch one, so Max's dad is always there, and Max's dad is like so done with Red Bull, he doesn't care. So when he gets to talk to the press, like the Dutch press, he just shits on Red Bull any chance he gets, which is funny as shit. Because
Wasn't his dad also a driver?
Yeah, his dad was a driver for Benetton,
Yeah.
but so his dad knows what he's played the game.
Yeah.
He's the one who caught on fire. Like he knows, but he's like, they're not giving him the tools. Like they're gonna throw away this whole season because they're not giving Max the tools to drive, and it's starting to show because now McLaren legitimately has what looks like the pace to keep up and overtake him. Lando finished 20 seconds in front
Well,
of
this is the
Max.
thing, though. Not when they have a full tank. Not when it's a heavy car.
Yeah, not at the
They're
beginning.
just going to have to change that back
Yeah,
and then
go-
trust that he can drive.
and I don't know how they do that. I don't know what they're gonna do. And they got rid of Logan Sargent. Finally,
Got rid of, you mean fired.
yes.
By axed.
Unceremoniously just came out today and was like, he's gone. We're taking the F2 kid that we've got, who's a Brazilian driver. He's going to drive.
It's one of those, he's like, well, who's going to drive for you instead? And they're like, literally anyone.
They're like, throw a rock and pick whoever it lands
They're
on.
like,
They're gonna
Nikita
drive.
Mazepan's still looking for a ride.
Actually, so Uraley, remember the old title sponsor for Haas?
Yeah.
That's the Russian company. They tried to get the Dutch authorities to seize Haas property
Really?
because apparently they haven't been paid. And they tried to get the Dutch company, like the Dutch police, to seize all of the Haas cars and tech.
Oh, they ain't gonna do that.
And the Dutch was like, this doesn't sound like our business. we're not in the habit of doing that necessarily, but legit, they were trying to get the Dutch courts to sign off on property taking for Haas to get
Like,
their
wait.
payment.
They're like, wait, isn't Haas partially an American team?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, they were like, yeah. I mean, if it was anyone else, we would be all about this, but I don't know about that one. So, yeah, they tried to get them to like steal cars
Listen,
for them.
they know
and
what happens when you touch America's boats. They're not sure what happens when you touch their cars.
It's the same.
More than likely.
Yeah, don't touch our cars. Don't touch our boats.
That's funny.
I was laughing. I'm like, I'm sorry. You want them to do what? And I mean, strangely, Haas was out of the country very quickly.
On to the next race.
Yeah, they're like, no, it's the car's already on the boat. I don't know what you're talking about. It's on American property now. You're gonna have to figure that one out. But I imagine next week they're supposed to be in Italy again. So we'll see if the Italians want to play that game.
I don't think they will either.
No, I don't think the Italians are that dumb either. But you know, they might. Italian court might get a little squirrely.
I'm just amazed it took them this long to get rid of Sargent.
You're not wrong. He should have been. I would have let him drive in Miami again, so he had a home race, and then I would have been like,
And
"All
then-
right, you're done.
Sorry, you're out.
Yeah, sorry, you're done. You're out."
He's an American driver?
Yes, he was the first American driver since 2012.
Oh, wow.
So
Well, it's only 12 years ago
yeah, we probably won't have one for another 12 years, thanks to him. But it's okay.
when Andretti gets a team.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, that's true. And when that movie comes out, we'll have Brad Pitt, so that's fine.
Yeah, when that movie comes, Brad Pitt's going to be the most famous F1 driver of all time, having never driven an F1 car in a race.
He's driven in a faux race. They had him drive in Silverstone. They drove that faux race they made.
Dude, we're going to be sitting in here talking about F1. F1's going to be on the TV, like practice or something, you know, like we do on the weekends. And someone's going to walk in. They're going to be like, did you see Brad Pitt was driving an F1? And you're like, oh. Why?
That's what Fittipaldi said. He was like, it's not going to drive the right group of people to be fans. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but F1's like they have
Might
money.
help.
I'm like, yeah, but half the American guys are fans because of Drive to Survive, and that's not really realistic either. So I don't know what.
What he meant was, we're going to have to give America at least another race, maybe two after this movie.
Yeah,
And I hate that.
That's really, they're like, fuck.
Yes.
They're gonna have more races now. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Brad Pitt that one year.
Listen, I want to see a bunch of rednecks working on a F1 car.
Well, that was the
I would love to see Hendrick get into F1. I mean, his teams were run like Swiss watches.
dude Hendrick Racing in F1 would be pretty fucking impressive,
Yeah.
hands down. Like they would really be. They'd put Haas to shame. Like everyone would be like, "What the fuck was Haas doing the whole time?
I thought you were trash. What is this?
Who are these guys? What the fuck?"
I mean, they only have like 2 of the 5 greatest NASCAR drivers of all time have driven for them.
Gordon.
And Johnson.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Johnson was on Hendrick.
Dude,
wasn't
their building
Yeah.
was the 2448 building.
he? That's right. That's right. I mean, I think Jeff Gordon could be a good pit boss for the
Or a
team.
good team principal.
Yeah, it hands down. That'd be sweet. You just show up with Jeff Gordon, like, what the fuck? Son of a bitch.
He'd be in it to win it too.
Well, that one guy, he called out Max Verstappen for
Which one?
NASCAR. I forget which driver it was, but he was like, Max Verstappen shit. There's no way he could drive like we drive. And I was like, All right, maybe in like stock car, sure.
Dude, I feel like they're
I buy it.
completely different endeavors.
They are. They're so like,
If you tried to drive a stock car like an F1 car, you would crash.
yeah. But if you tried to drive an F1 car like a stock car, you'd also crash.
Yeah, no, I like.
In a very spectacular billion pieces.
But the upshot is, in an F1, going from NASCAR to F1, at least you have brakes.
What are brakes?
Yeah.
There's a go-go pedal and that's it. What are you talking
Yeah.
about, brakes?
Like stock cars, are the same way you drive a golf cart. Throttle's a switch,
It's go,
Yeah.
on and off.
and then it's stop.
This is like MotoGP. Have you ever twisted the throttle on a MotoGP bike?
No.
Oh,
It's
half
like-
an inch of it.
It's like an eighth of a turn.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's just boom, done.
It's
And you
on
take
off.
off.
Yeah, it's fucking. It's short. You're like, oh, that's the whole power curve.
Yeah, because you gotta. If for a normal motorcycle, it's like a half twist.
Yeah, no, not on these MotoGPs.
It's like going from driving a Ford van to driving like a Lexus LFA on the steering wheel, where lock to lock is like that.
What the fuck?
Those old vans and even the old trucks have so much play in the wheels.
Oh,
You're
you can go around like twice. Yeah.
We're making a turn, I think.
That's why on M I put in one of the ball for the truckers,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that made it so much easier to turn.
Yeah, because there's no power steering on that, is there?
There is.
Oh, is
but
there?
the power steering on her likes to go out every once in a while. Just when we first got the truck, it was like 2 years in. We were driving and we were coming in to do cameras on Pulse Fitness over by the swim center, and my dad was driving. The brakes went out and he slammed into that metal pole that was there and fucked up the front bumper. And then I had to work on the brakes.
Yeah.
Like, hey, time to learn to work on brakes.
Time to do some brakes.
Hey, I learned a lot from that truck.
I
Dude,
bet.
I had to learn to do drum brakes at some point. Those are a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, drums?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, we never actually switched. We never switched the back, so there's still drums in the back and disc in front.
Discs are easy. Drums
Yes.
were a bitch.
Yeah, because you have to pull off that whole plate, and then there's inside brake discs, and then there's outside.
It's a pain.
But it was fun. You learned a lot. And then you could usually count on them.
Oh, the Antonio.
What?
Like Morris.
Yeah. Hoyo de Nicaragua Antonio.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
You remember when Will used to smoke the shit out of those? Dude, we got some comments. They're like, "Where's Will?" I'm like, "Yeah, we want him back.
We all do.
yes, we miss Will.
He brought balance and like, an aged wisdom to the podcast."
That we do not have.
Yeah, he is kind of like the stay a while and listen while I tell these stories.
I'm still trying to get Dave to do it.
Yeah, well, Dave needs to come. Dave and George need to have a sit
Listen.
down.
We put him in the booth.
We will do a hard and fast no smoking episode for Dave.
I will let him know that, but at that point, he's going to be upset because he can't smoke.
He can smoke, just not on camera.
Fair. Don't want to get caught by the wife.
Yeah, tell him he can just be voice only. He can be the voice.
I tried to get him to do that. He's like, nah, she's going to see it. Somehow it's going to pop up in her feed.
He just needs to ask for, one reprieve.
Yeah, like a birthday.
That is true.
Yeah, his birthday. He can smoke on his birthday. He can buy her something nice, make up for it.
It's been a while. I'm trying to remember when his birthday is again.
Dude, his stories are so good.
If I could get Don Frankie in here, he doesn't smoke, but he has tons of stories from Vietnam, and he used to travel all around here, so he's been everywhere in Nevada, been all over the states, so he has a bunch of stories from that.
Yeah. Dave's all casino stories,
Yes.
which having been someone that's worked in casinos as long as I have, I just find them so interesting because they're so off the wall. Like they're so off the wall that people that haven't worked in casinos
Don't
won't
believe it.
believe them.
That's legit. Like 90% of the stories that George tells.
Yeah.
Legit.
Dude, people like when I have jobs outside the casinos, people don't believe my stories from the casinos.
Yeah, and yours aren't
Yeah.
half as nearly. As
Yeah, they're like,
crazy
that didn't happen. I'm like, it really did.
Even my stories, nobody believes half the time.
The casino world is just a different
It's
experience,
just a kooky place.
especially when you spend years here. Like, it's one thing for most people who come in for, a couple of days, 5 weekends a year or something. But when
Yeah.
you're here as a profession,
Have 10 years is what I was.
Yeah, when you see it every day, you're just like,
You had what, 20 years?
dude, I started working in casinos 24 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah. it's-
yeah, I'm on like 15.
yeah.
Fair. You
Tec-
counting this?
Technically longer. I mean, we grew up in this town. You grew up and you hang out in the casinos and the arcades. Like, you get to see it from an early age.
Yeah, so if I went with that logic, I was probably 7 when we started going to the arcades. And I would find money because somebody would put a sandwich the bill for some reason and put it in sandwich, and you just fish it out with a toothpick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Dude, the old school and the old, like the 70s and 80s casino stories are so much better than mine.
Oh, dude.
for
The
sure.
stuff casinos got away with in the 70s and 80s.
Wasn't that when they were really booming?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was the second boom of casinos.
After the Rat Pack.
And the first one was in the 50s, and then again in the late 70s and early 80s. And then again when Vegas went away from like trying to do the family thing and went back to what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Like when they readopted Sin City.
Yes.
Because then people started doing Vegas things again.
Yes.
Dude, the stories I've heard from Vegas when I was a kid were amazing.
Dude,
I mean, Vegas is a whole different animal.
Yes.
Like the rest of us are playing like freshman football, and Vegas is playing varsity.
that's why it's fun to watch that show Las Vegas with George. Because some of the episodes, like, we'll watch and he's like, this show is just like quirky enough to make you not believe it's true, but half of it's really close to being legit. And I'm like, really, George? He's like, oh yeah. There's a couple episodes we've watched, and he's like, I was there. I'm like, what the fuck? It's amazing.
I mean, even like just the money that gets thrown around in Vegas.
Well, yeah, they got massive whales there.
Yeah, I mean, $250,000 hands of baccarat.
Oh, yeah.
$30 million sports bets. It boggles the mind.
Yeah.
Dude, being here watching what they did here, that one guy, I forget his name. He was our
Riccatello?
Yeah, Riccatello. He
Oh,
$250,000 in a weekend.
3 hands at $5,000 a hand on fucking blackjack.
Yeah, they limited him. They
Bro,
wound up limiting him
that's-
to just 3,000,
Yeah.
and he can only do 2 hands.
That's so stupid.
And then talking to those people before and after, sitting in a cigar shop and hanging out with people that have won and lost.
Sometimes they're really happy. Sometimes they're pissed off. There was one that was okay with losing. He's like, it's just part of the game.
Dude, one of the only places I've ever worked, like in customer service, and it's legitimate, right? You don't just use it all the time, but you can have a customer who's just an ass. They're complaining about everything, but one of the bartenders was talking to him, right? So they complain, and you have to go research all the complaints. You're like, all right, what happened? And then you finally get to the bartender, and the bartender's like, oh yeah, they were down 1-5. And then all the managers go, oh, and never talk about it again.
Yeah. That's casino life right there.
Yeah. It's just such a different world.
Oh, you want to spend how much? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we can
Sure.
do that.
Sure. That's great.
Let's
Have,
just.
have at it.
Dude, the plans for Harvey's sound fantastic.
What are they doing?
They're kicking out one of the restaurants. They're combining it with the current poker room and making it high limit, and then pushing the poker room into the dead space in the back and building a new bar around it.
I thought the dead space in the back was because for a reason of asbestos or something.
At Harvey's?
Oh,
No,
Harvey's.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
it.
Harvey's.
Oh, yeah, the Golden Nugget, he's going to do a ton of abatement over there. But they're doing a bunch of really cool stuff too. They're building a new sports bar, sportsbook combination. They're adding a Saltgrass and a Mastro's. They're gutting one of the towers completely and redoing all their rooms.
Yeah, that back tower, right?
Yeah, they're going to redo the rooms in the front. The back tower to redo the rooms, they have to gut the whole thing, which they're going to. Like, we're getting some actual construction here.
Real actual.
Like, they're going to be
improvements.
real properties again, like they were when I was a kid.
Yeah, well, just the only thing about Harvey's that sucks is the name change.
Yeah, when are they doing that?
As soon as they finish, I think.
And what are they calling it?
Caesar's Republic.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care about the name so much.
It's
But
a little
But
weird.
it's Harvey's.
I know, but no one remembers Harvey anymore.
I know, but
Hardly anybody remembers Bill Hara anymore.
that's true.
Over when he had Bills,
No, well,
Harris.
Bill's was their sports book originally.
and then it turned into their small poker room for high end, right?
Bill's was like a
No. Bill, I don't think Bill's was ever the poker room. It went from sports book to sort of like locals casino.
It was kind of like Lakeside Inn, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah.
Yeah, because
like a more energetic Lakeside.
Yeah.
Dave worked in surveillance there during
Oh,
that
yeah.
time.
Yeah. Bill's was interesting.
Also, the first property that T Square killed before he went to Harris Reno and killed it.
And then here,
Dude, 2 of the 3 casinos he was the general manager of aren't casinos anymore.
this one was close.
And this one's still close.
This one's on the verge.
Dude, getting to tell him what a piece of trash he was as a general manager was the highlight of my
A
year.
dream come true.
The one thing you waited for.
He was one of the most arrogant people I've ever met, and it was completely unjustified. And just getting to look him in the eye, be like, you are the worst general manager I've ever had. And let me tell you why.
And all his friends were around to hear it.
He doesn't have friends. Come on.
Acquaintances.
He thinks he has friends. What's the difference?
I mean, he's never going to come up and talk to me again, which is perfectly okay.
Yeah, that's acceptable.
That's just icing on the cake for you.
Yeah. I have no use for him as a human being generally.
No,
That is fair.
that's fair.
He comes up every once in a while in different circles. Like, oh, yeah, he was garbage.
Oh, like
You're
just
like,
talk
what?
about him.
You're like, yep, complete trash.
Total trash.
Yeah.
Just nixing everything to make it look like you're
Hands down trash.
in the black, right?
Oh my God, he gave me the record EBITDA every year I was there. First of all, lie. I was there. Lie.
Lie.
I remember the year where my department was the only one that showed an increase in EBITDA at all.
And it was just because of the things you did.
Yes.
Hey, there's a space coming up available, so
Yeah. And then, like, P.S. the years that were, record EBITDA had nothing to do with you increasing revenue or business. You were running a slow speed liquidation sale. You were just selling off the property and axing jobs and fucking calling it revenue, like a garbage GM would. You were killing a business.
and he's very proud of that.
I did it in the end. I was like, dude, your career is a fucking graveyard of jobs and properties. Yeah.
And I feel like he's okay with that still.
He's Nevada's best closer.
Dude, he wanted to cry.
When you told him that, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
You can be the nicest person, but you can also be that guy that just axes through everything.
Dude, I tried really hard. Like, I saw him coming up to the golf cart. It was on the golf course. I saw
Yeah.
him coming to the golf cart. And I deep breath. All right, you can do this. You can do this. And he put his hand out and he was like, how the hell are you? And I just went, nope, can't do it.
Violence.
You fucked that up.
I have chosen violence.
Like, I've fucked up a lot of things as a manager, but like most of the time when I fuck it up, I know it. I'm like, wow, I really screwed the pooch on that one.
And you try to figure out how to fix it.
Yeah, this guy would fuck shit up and celebrate it. Be like, good win for us. And you're like, what? What?
Where?
What? I don't see
How
it.
does that work? How does that work?
Are we looking at 2 different realities?
Yes.
Like, are we occupying the same space in different dimensions?
Hey, ignorance is bliss.
Listen,
Okay? Ignorance is bliss.
you're just living in his dimension.
Yeah. You're living in his reality.
Oh my God. Dude, some people just need to hear the truth sometimes. And I'm not like one of those, I tell people the truth. Most of the time, I have a pretty solid filter. Sometimes, like, nope.
Not today.
I do not have a filter strong enough for what needs to be said.
Not today.
You had the filter while you were working here. That's all you needed. But on the outs, you don't need to.
Yeah. in
Oh God,
public.
I remember talking about something. I was trying to manage one of the departments and figure out how to move employees and allocate hours, and he was commenting about how we needed to cut something. I don't know, and I don't remember what I said, but I said something about trying to make employees happy, and he was like, "Listen, the only person you need to make happy on this property is me. No one else matters." I'm like, who the fuck says that?
The fuck?
I was the asshole
had-
just walking into his office.
You have like 500 employees here at the time.
had.
Keyword
By the
there.
time
Dude,
he
there's
left,
there's
I think,
less employees here than there were in my department when I was working.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
By a lot.
Just a buffoon.
I mean, you have those. I don't know how he fixes that, but maybe he takes your words to heart.
No.
But he'll never work in a casino again. So
Yeah, he's being run out. So
I need my lighter. Yeah, that was a good day.
I bet.
have you hit the course recently?
I played on Monday. Swing felt good. I had like 6 birdies, like actual birdies, but it was one of those days where, so when you go out by yourself, if you don't get paired up with somebody, you end up playing this game of like, you'll run for 2 or 3 holes, playing through a bunch of groups, and then you'll wind up in a group where the pacing's off and you're not in a position to play through. So you end up waiting behind them for a couple holes. So I was like sprinting through 2 or 3 holes and then playing like 3 or 4 balls on different shots because I had all the time in the world and I just didn't want to stand there. So I wasn't keeping score
Okay.
because it just didn't make sense.
But still, I mean that's a nice thing to work on too.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad round. I enjoyed it. My swing felt great. Like I was working on the things that I wanted to work on, and it felt like they were coming through. And it was nice to, like on your approach shot, you're like a long iron out or something, 6, 7 iron out. And that's a shot, like you're getting into clubs that are harder to hit. So if you can hit 3 or 4 balls with that shot, like there's advantage there, right? I didn't mind it, but it wasn't, like I probably would have shot a 68, 69-ish.
If you played through like the time before.
Yeah, if I was just playing, like if I was honestly just playing 1 ball, but I wasn't. So I have one of the apps on my phone has a no stroke mode. It's GPS only mode. So I just turned that on, was just doing distances and
Okay.
figuring out what I was hitting. But the distance feels good. The swing feels good.
Have you guys ever played disc golf?
Yeah, I play a lot of disc golf. Not this summer, but
I've never played it, and I found out there's a disc golf course over there by the dump down in Gardnerville.
oh yeah, there's a
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of disc golf courses down there.
I didn't realize that. We took the
There's-
residents out to do that.
There's a great one out in Markleyville. But
Oh, yeah.
take your beat up discs if you ever go. It's called Turtle Rock. It should be called Turtle Rocks. In fact, it should just be called Granite Shale.
I've only played once, Sacramento.
And there's a bunch of good courses up here too. Bijou's got a great course.
Yeah, Bijou's pretty fun.
Zephyr Cove's got a great course.
Yeah, Zephyr Cove's a hike though.
Yeah, it is.
Zephyr Cove is
And
Ooh.
you can lose disc in Zephyr Cove real easy.
There, you hit the right bush, you're like, no, I'm not getting that back.
I ain't crawling in there.
Yeah, no, I'm not going.
I will
there.
tell you, like we have one of the security guards competes. He's talented.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, wins tournaments. Really good. Can't swing a golf club to save his life. And he was joking about that. And I go, that's okay, because I'm a very good golfer and a trash disc golfer. Like, I am awful. I had a roommate years ago. I was probably like 27, 28 maybe. And I was 28 for sure. And we would go out, and we would golf together, and I would smoke him. But then we went out to disc golf, and he would be on a disc golf course, and he would shoot like, they don't say under, they say down. So he would shoot like 12 down on a disc golf course. Like, and he was skinny, and he would just like walk up and flip this disc, and it would go forever. And I would put everything I had into a throw, and I'd be like 100 yards short of him.
Well, Frisbee's all about finesse.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah,
at some
disc
point I looked-
golf is not frisbee, man. It's a
No.
different throw.
at some point I looked at it, I was like, what magical hippie wind are you using to get the disc out there? Like,
You just got to use the green.
magical hippie wind.
I'm terrible.
That's the funny part is everybody that I've seen play disc golf is usually in the hippie crowd when I watch it.
It is a bit granola.
Yeah, it's interesting. We used to go for middle school. Like we'd go walk over there, and just like fuck around in the woods for a PE period.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to watch like serious people play it. You're like, how the fuck? Like, what am I doing wrong?
The answer is
It
everything.
It should be like so simple because you think, oh,
It's a frisbee.
yeah, it's not a frisbee. No, you gotta like,
It's literally what I
throw it-
thought.
You gotta throw it like with like a weird flick in the wrist, and then you gotta hope it kind of goes straight. And most of the time you throw it, and it just kind of goes up and off to the side. And you're like, God, fucking son of a
For
bitch.
normal people, yeah.
Son of a bitch. How am I supposed to get this? This is a par 5. How the fuck am I supposed to get there in 5 throws? Go 50 yards. This is stupid.
Or when you come to a hole that's over water, you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
where can I lay up? Because I'm not losing this
Yeah,
disc.
It's
How-
going in the water.
Yeah, well, Bijou does that because that one, it's
Yeah.
like hole 9 or whatever. In the springtime, it's just this pond,
Yeah.
and you legit have to throw it between 2 trees because you can see the net. You're like, okay, the net is over this pond. Or I could throw it on the path over there. I think I'm just gonna throw it on the path. 'Cause if I try to go between the trees, I'm gonna hit the tree. It's gonna bounce off in the water, or I'm not gonna make the water, and it's just gonna kind of hopefully skim across the top of the water. If I'm lucky, I don't know what it's just I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Either way.
I mean, I enjoy the hell out of it, but I am just awful.
Because I was thinking about taking the boys to do that.
Yeah?
My boys. Yeah.
Do you have discs?
No. They sell them at Walmart, though, surprisingly.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
still have them
I
everywhere. But I think I still have, I don't know, 10 or 12 floating around.
And there's apparently a bunch of different discs, too, that you're supposed to use.
Yeah,
Well, you need a driver, an approach, and a putter.
Yeah,
So you really only need 3.
You can play with 3.
you can get away with 3 if you're doing
Now,
it
if
right.
you like, apparently, when you really know what you're doing, not me, you can buy discs that turn differently.
'Cause
So,
they're
like,
weighted.
it'll fade to the right, it'll fade to the left. Like, you can buy straight discs. I'm like, I don't have that level of control.
yeah, it's a whole like culture.
I did it the last time when I first did my knee, this knee, to get through, like, trying to rehab it. I would go out onto the disc golf course and I would jog it. Because it was like trail running, but in spurts.
Okay.
Yeah, because you throw, then you kind of jog. Like, oh, I got to throw again, kind of jog, and throw again.
And
kinda
disc
jog,
golfers are really cool. You got like a group of 4 guys playing or 5 guys playing, and they see a guy run up behind them. They just let you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
'Cause
played with a
they're
group
no
in
rush.
Sacramento once, but we were all blitzed.
Yeah.
That's mostly what you just drink beers and throw a disc.
Yeah, I mean, they almost all have beers in their bag. I think most disc golf, like the caddy bags, have a cooler pocket.
It might as well.
It's kind of a requirement. You might as well. You're out in the sun. Fuck it. Let's just.
Wait,
drink
no,
some-
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of
booze.
fun. Just don't expect to be good.
No.
I don't expect to be good at a lot of things.
I've even watched like YouTube videos, and I'm like, I feel like I do that, and it doesn't work.
How do you throw that?
Yeah.
It's like when they tell you how to bowl a strike, you're just supposed to like shake hands, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I don't get that. You throw it and try to spin it with the shake hand motion. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't think I could get that either.
Yeah, dude, I've broken 200 bowling like, I don't know, maybe 10 times.
I've never broken 200.
And I throw this, like what I think is an amazing game, and then you've got like D'Annunzio, who's bowled 300 with both hands, and you're like, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah,
I barely
so
break
wrong.
100 sometimes.
That's fair. I'm like, I can throw it decently 1 out of 5. Like, I'll get one good one. I'm like, oh, that felt great. How come I can't do that every time?
Now, how do I remember to do it
Yeah.
like that every time?
And it's like, I don't understand this whole like reaching out, shake hand thing. I don't get how it's supposed to. I don't know how the ones do it without even holding the holes. They just like hold.
They
it on
have the
bottom.
thumb hole, and
Yeah,
then
and they just like throw it, and I'm like, how?
They have special weights
Voodoo.
in their balls too, as well.
Voodoo.
Well, all balls are off-weighted a little bit.
Yeah, they have their like professionals have theirs made specifically. Apparently,
Oh, yeah. I can throw a spin. I can't do the two-handed thing. I haven't figured that out.
Oh yeah, that weird.
Kamea wave.
It is just kind of like a command, man. It really is.
Listen, the first time I threw a bowling ball, I threw it halfway down the thing because I didn't know what I was doing.
That's fair.
So what are we reviewing tonight?
Whiskey wise,
No. We don't know. It was blind
I was about
taste.
to say that's blind. Mystery
1792.
every time.
No, it's ye old 1792 Creek.
What is it?
You guys told me the cigar, and I don't remember it.
Kariva.
Karavi?
Karavi. No.
Cuckoo Karoo?
I don't know how to pronounce it unless I look at it.
Oh yeah, I don't have the name in front of me.
It's a weird. It's a super boutiquey, like
Yeah, like we probably can't even get them in here if we want to.
Did you find him up there at Foo?
Yeah. Yeah, Fumari had them. They got them when they first came out like 6 years ago. Dion ran into them at somewhere, PCA maybe, before it was called PCA, when it was, PCIPUR, whatever the hell they called that shit.
IPCPR.
Yeah, I don't care.
PCPR?
Yeah, IPCPR.
They finally fixed that.
Yes, it's the shield problem. I get that.
And it would just randomly sign them up as an account, but they've never really grown. They're just super boutiquey.
Okay. They just,
Yeah, like super. Like they have maybe 9 sticks, and that's what they make.
In fact, I think they have exactly 9 sticks
I think it's
right now.
Yeah.
And they'll do a series for 6 months and then disco it.
and
Because
figure
it's
out
all
some-
based on what tobacco they can get on their contracts.
Okay, so
So the one we have now isn't in their current lineup, the one that we're reviewing.
Yeah, it's not even on their website for list of ones they make. That's how boutique it is.
see, I always question the boutique cigars because I'll see them on like Cigar International and all that. I'm just unsure, so I never purchase them.
I mean, there's plenty of trash boutique cigars out there, but there's also a lot of good ones.
9 times out of 10, they're probably
It's just rummaging.
I would
through
say
it.
8 out of 10,
Okay.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay, I'll give you that.
I think there's more good boutique cigars out there than there used to be.
Especially now, I guess. Yeah, that's true. Now that people are paying attention.
That we've gotten through the days of the hammer and sickle.
Don't you sully the name of Hammer and Sickle? They still made some of the sexiest boxes I've ever seen.
That was the only thing they did well.
That fucking, I still have
Their
each one
claim
of
to
those.
fame.
I have the glass box and I have the fucking all granite slab box. Weighs like 100 pounds.
I think I saw that one when I was helping you move.
Yeah, I have that box.
Listen, if we ever owned a cigar company and did a super limited, like once a year, we're only doing like 20 boxes of these and they're, $150 a stick, I want the box to be entirely obsidian.
Kevin's would be all diamond plate.
Why would mine be diamond plate?
Because that's just a redneck thing.
You're not wrong. I like the idea.
And when you open up the lid, there's some truck balls hanging inside.
Yeah.
I think diamond plate on the top and then doing purple heart around the outside perimeter. I think that's where I would go.
See, there you go. Diamond plate. Bam. Sold.
And truck nuts.
Sold.
That's
Because why not?
Dude, there'd be a whole video, someone doing the unboxing, and they wouldn't be ready for it. They'd lift it up. They go, "Are those truck nuts?"
unboxing in a YouTube video, and they have to blur that section out.
Yeah, whoa, 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 whoa. No, this box is not safe for work. Did you ever think about hanging some truck nuts off the cannon of
No,
your tank?
I never thought about it because I don't remember seeing them back then.
Oh man, I should send some to Anthony.
Yeah.
Put this on the tank.
Put them on the training tank.
Like in aircraft carriers, when you miss and you have to go back around, it's called a bolt. And so for a long time, in the pilot's room above your chair, they would hang some bolts. I think in the tanking world, if you fuck up something, you get the fucking truck nuts above your chair.
Where's James when you need him?
Right?
James, like, I didn't miss.
James is negotiating a Congolese wedding. So
Oh, that's right.
Congolese?
Yes, his brother's marrying this girl from the Congo, and they're having a traditional Congo-style wedding, which requires a family-like negotiation of said materials. So if they were in the Congo, they would be negotiating for, goats and yaks and land and
So what are they negotiating here?
well, they're Western, so they're negotiating money versus what they have in the Congo.
Oh,
So apparently, it's a very interesting, delicate process going on right now.
that is interesting.
Yes.
I'm curious on how this plays out now.
I'm waiting. We're all waiting for part 3 of his videos to drop, so we know. Because all we've seen was the first one where he put a video out explaining what has to happen, and the second video was like day 2 of the negotiations with his mom and his nephew and his
Is that
aunt. And like,
YouTube?
it was on Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah,
I don't
So-
think we're friends on Facebook.
we're all waiting to see what happens. I'm
I'm
curious.
desperately
Yeah,
curious.
I want to know.
I got to see these videos.
I told him, I was like, bro, you need to get some land because Congo's going to blow up in 10 years. It's going to be land for days. Make sure you negotiate for that. And the family yak. Take the yak. And then the Congo, too. So they probably got guns, but I don't think he needs any more guns. Some diamonds.
Everybody needs guns.
Dude, one of my law school professors was his first job as an attorney was for someone in one of the African nations. He was like he wasn't the president. He was like, I
step
think he
under?
was effectively like the Secretary of Defense.
Okay.
Yes, he was also a gun runner. So my professor was negotiating contracts for an African gun runner.
That's fine. Seems legit.
I mean, it's a good way to learn and get your name out there.
He was one of the coolest professors I had. He knew a ton about international business.
Was your professor Nicolas Cage's character from...
No. He was from Africa.
Oh, okay. Not the Lord of War.
He was brilliant too.
He was the guy that used the gun and had to buy a used gun now.
Can't sell a used gun.
That was a halfway decent movie.
Lord of War?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I
It's
love
been a
that
minute
movie.
since I've seen that one.
Especially I love the ATF scene.
And we released that guy, right? In the prisoner swap.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was the guy we let for Brittany Granger.
Yeah.
That was the guy we gave up. I was really surprised.
We traded an internationally renowned gun runner for a WNBA star.
Seems like
I
it
have-
matches up.
I have questions.
I just like how
we didn't have any spies to trade. Like like come on.
we couldn't get anybody extra.
Like
Yeah.
low grade gray suit. Come on, let's work this out. Nope, we want him. Dimitri or whatever his name
yeah,
was.
Dimitri something, the Lord of War.
And he's going back to selling guns.
Probably. I mean, you know.
I mean,
He's been out of the game for
you,
a while.
you do what you know.
That is true.
Yeah. I mean, if you know guns, you sell guns.
I mean, I don't know why he was in prison. We basically sponsored him. Yeah.
Someone had to go down for those crimes. He was a patsy.
Is that usually how that works?
Yes. Yes. We'll sponsor you until you become no longer useful, and then we'll just be like, eliminate the middleman. Sell him. Okay.
I feel like the spy game is a lot like Starship Troopers.
How so?
What?
Until you die,
Oh, yeah.
or we find somebody better.
Yes. No, that's legit. Yeah. The roughneck motto.
Yeah.
You're in charge until you die or I find someone better. Yeah. Welcome to the Roughnecks. Rico's Roughnecks.
Right? I mean, it kind of feels like that. The way they talk about it, the way all the movies portray it. Basically, like, you better be the top of your game. Because once you're not,
You're gone.
yep.
And it happens quick.
Fuck yeah, it does. In that world.
Kurivari? Is that what it is?
Kuavari?
That sounds right.
Yes. The cigar?
Yeah.
Yes. Kuavari. Actually, now that you mention it.
Look at that. He knew it. And
It was there.
it just took us a minute.
I'm looking forward to it. They said it was good.
I hope it is.
I'm excited. It looks good, color wise.
Yeah.
You know,
Nicapuro?
Yeah, Nicaraguan.
How bad
Puro.
can it be?
Whoa! Don't say that.
You'll wind
Don't
up
say
something.
that. There's 20 years of Tom Gear out that says you don't say that.
It's too late. It's already in the universe.
Son bitch. Did you read the article about Ford? They announced today they are reevaluating their DEI policy,
Oh, everyone is.
and they're getting on the bandwagon with like Lowe's and a few other people now, and everyone's like, "Whoa, this is bullshit." And they're like, "Yeah, no, we're good. We're fine."
Yeah, Brown-Forman did.
Yep. Lowe's,
A lot of people have.
Ford. It's pretty interesting stuff. They said it wasn't because of some like current stuff going on. They're like, no, this happened a couple years ago. The policy's just catching up now. And everyone's like, is it really? Is it really? Like, what's going on here? And I'm like, I think they just don't care anymore. I think the pendulum is switching the other way now. And they're just like, no, we're good.
I mean, it's a questionable practice. It's also probably going to come up, if it ever comes up with this court, in this particular Supreme Court is unconstitutional.
Isn't that why they got rid of affirmative action?
Yes.
Same reason, right? Mm-hmm. So it falls under that.
But that
category.
actually went to the court,
So this one will probably too, you think?
probably. Eventually.
Interesting.
What's like California telling corporations that aren't housed in California that if they want to do business in California, they have to have, their board has to represent a certain makeup. And the corporations are like, no, that's not how that works.
We don't need to do work there then.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, that violates both like the laws that govern like our internal governance in probably Delaware and interstate commerce. Yeah,
You say Delaware because pretty much all of them are there.
a lot of corporations are incorporated in Delaware. Not because it's super corporate. I mean, it's pretty corporate friendly, but like Wyoming, Nevada, handful of other states are more corporate friendly. The reason you incorporate in Delaware is because almost every issue has already been tried in Delaware, so you know exactly how everything's going to come out. It's just extremely predictable. And the court in Delaware is extremely well versed in business, right? So like in most states for the bar exam, enterprise law is a single section, a single testable section on the bar. In Delaware, it's 6 testable sections.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Delaware. Hi.
I'm
We're in
Delaware. I mean, I feel like it is just that boring.
It's got to be. It
But
really
as far
does.
as like business goes, like there's Supreme Court decisions that cite as persuasive the Supreme Court of Delaware. So like the National Supreme Court is citing Delaware.
They know what they're doing then, I guess.
It's Delaware. You go to the source material, right? That's the
Yeah.
source material. Might as well. If they've already gone through it, then there's no point in doing it again.
Yeah.
Just use them.
If they've already gone through it and it is likely an incredibly competent analysis, you should pay attention.
Should.
And there's a lot of business decisions where the court's like, I don't know. Yeah.
Is it just because a lot of them don't know business?
It's just not something a lot of those people practice.
Fair.
It's a pretty particular practice. And the other side of that is that the people that practice it well make piles of fucking money. They're like, do you want to go be a federal judge? And they're like, what does it pay? And they're like, $220,000. I'm good.
I'm good.
What did they get paid?
Oh, I mean, think general counsel's damn near C-suite. They're making $1 million a year plus a substantial bonus, like probably a 500 to 1,000% bonus, depending on the corporate profits.
Oh, shit. We're in the wrong
And you never
business.
wanted to do that?
Oh, God, I bet that works terrible.
Oh, I mean, the upshot is you don't really have to do a lot of the menials. You have to do a lot of research still. And you're writing a lot of you're not writing a lot of briefs. You're writing a lot of memos. And you're not writing them to judges. You're writing them to the C-suite. Like, this is what I think is going to happen. The most likely outcome is this. If you take these steps, it changes these things, and this is the most likely outcome. Like, these are the things you're writing. And you're writing them to your bosses, not to a court. Because, like, corporation goes to trial. General counsel's office doesn't go to trial. You're hiring trial attorneys.
Oh. Okay.
For whatever it's worth.
No.
You know more than I do.
Yeah,
Especially on that subject.
That's so Delaware's where it's at.
I mean, Delaware yes. The business law in Delaware is substantial. The precedent in Delaware is substantial.
I'm surprised it's not like the capital of corporate headquarters.
Well, so your headquarters don't have to be where you're incorporated.
Oh, so you can just incorporate in Delaware.
Now, there are certain, like wherever your corporate headquarters are, you automatically suffer jurisdiction in that place. So
Okay.
you can be sued where you're incorporated. You can be sued where your corporate headquarters are. And then after that, you can be sued in any place. Then you start getting into jurisdiction law. And, it's like stream of commerce and significant connections with the community. Like, there's a whole bunch of measures, and I don't remember what the exact wording is. I could probably tell you. I think the connections case is Penoyer v. Neff. And it's like, no, it's something about connections and is fair and something to be tried in that jurisdiction.
Oh.
I could come up with it if I had to.
Wow.
Give me long enough, I'll get it. But yeah, so those are the places where you can be sued as a corporation. But you can always be sued where you're incorporated
Okay.
and where your corporate headquarters are located.
But so wouldn't it make sense to have them both in the same place?
Not necessarily, because most of the time what you're going to get sued for and where you're incorporated is internal governance issues.
Ah.
And they're also probably not going to apply, like if you're incorporated in Delaware, but you have significant connections with California that you can be sued in California, even if they file the lawsuit in Delaware, because the things took place in California, you're going to have to go through a choice of law analysis. And there's a fair chance they're going to apply California law, even though the trial's in Delaware.
Oh, okay.
And that's just because it's been tried already.
It's because, so the choice of law analysis is like, there's like 5 elements to it, and it's like, the jurisdiction has the jurisdiction has interest in applying their law. Anyway, they're similar to that. Basically, like, there's a reason that you should be applying this other jurisdiction's law, and most likely it's because whatever you did wrong was in that jurisdiction.
Okay.
So, like, I mean, if you live in Texas and you punch someone in the face in California, now the laws are likely very similar for assault, but they could come and sue you. They could come and civilly sue you in Texas. But the assault happened in California, so California has an interest in applying its law for an action that occurred within its jurisdiction. Fair chance you're going to suffer California law.
Okay.
Civilly. Criminally, they're going to have Texas arrest you and extradite you to California and try you in California.
What? Texas? There's no extradition in Texas.
I'm afraid there is.
That's bullshit. That's what Texas needs. No extradition.
Oh my God! If we had someone who actually practiced in the comments right now, they'd be like, "Well, in fact," and I'd be like, "Yeah, listen, I haven't looked seriously at any of this stuff in a very long time." Yeah.
What, 4 years?
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've had to play law.
It has.
Hey, I'm about to launch that education website
Oh yeah.
A couple days or?
next week, maybe.
Okay.
I'm working out hosting right now. They're fixing a couple of last things that I want.
That'd be also why I saw Sean upgrading part of his server.
Oh yeah, he said he was doing that.
Oh, you stopped in and saw Sean?
No, he just put a picture up on the Discord, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. New server stuff. Somebody gave him an excuse to buy stuff."
Yeah, that was probably me.
He was like, need to justify this purchase. Oh, I'm gonna host a server now.
Write it off as a big expense at that point, right?
Pretty much. I mean, his garage server just gets bigger and bigger every like 6 months, I feel.
How big is his garage?
It's a 2-car garage.
Okay.
It's
so
a-
my size.
It's a solid garage. Like it's 2 cars plus like a extension where you could probably put an RV in there if you had to. Like it's spacious. At one point it had like 15 3D printers in it. So now he just has a server and a laser cutter, and a
Which I'm
CNC
thankful for.
machine, and probably soon another server rack.
I mean, listen, if it's successful and it grows, eventually I migrate it to something like AWS. But, for now, not having to pay AWS rates.
Yeah, for now, the garage. It's like a band. You start a band in a garage. Sean just got a server. We can just start whatever we want in Sean's garage. Actually, we could probably start a band too. He's got space, so yeah.
Where are we at on this thing?
125.
Nice.
All right, let's get out of here. We got reviews to shoot.
Shooting
That we
reviews.
And
Use.
blind taste to look stupid on.
Yeah. Old 1920 Forester Reserve.
Ye old.
Ye old.
Don't
night.
bastardize the name that you made up.
Ye old 1792 Creek Granddad
Water.
Forester Mark. Yeah. Daniels.
On that note, this has been another Big Ash Live. Go ahead and do the YouTube stuff, and we'll catch you on the next video.